Hey everyone, Romeo here, a fellow Spanish language learner. In this video, I want to address a comment I got on one of my videos that explains how to learn Spanish and speak it in less than a year. In that video, I talked about the amount of time I think someone may need to study if they want to reach a functional level of Spanish. Not perfect Spanish, not native level Spanish, but functional Spanish. The kind of Spanish where you can understand more, say more, and read more, and continue studying on your own without feeling completely lost. And someone commented, "Damn, bro, I have a full-time job." And honestly, I get it. Because when I say someone may need around an hour and a half of focused study, that can sound easy when it's just a number. But once you put that number inside somebody's real life, it feels different. Some people work 8 hours a day. Some people work 10. Some people work 12. And that's before you add commuting, kids, marriage, errands, bills, housework, family obligations, and after school activities, and everything else that comes with being an adult. So when someone says, "Bro, I have a full-time job," I don't think that's automatically an excuse. Sometimes that's a real constraint, but a constraint is not the same thing as an impossibility. And that's where I think a lot of people blur the line, because the real question is not, do I have unlimited free time? Most adults don't. The real question is learning Spanish important enough for me to rearrange part of my life around it? And that's a very different question, because the short answer to how do I find the time to study Spanish is this. If it's a priority, you will find the time. If it's not a priority, you will find an excuse. And I know that sounds harsh, but I don't mean it in a motivational speaker kind of way. I mean it in a practical way. Because most of us are already spending our time somewhere. The time usually isn't missing. It's already assigned. It may be assigned to television, social media, YouTube, video games, sports, or just scrolling for 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there, and another 20 minutes later at night on your phone. And none of those things are evil. I'm not saying you should never relax or enjoy yourself. But if someone says, "I don't have time to study Spanish," the first honest question should be, where's my time currently going? Because for some people, the hour and a half is already there. It's just being spent on something else. To find the time, maybe it's one less episode at night. Maybe it's cutting social media down or spending less time watching random YouTube videos after work. Or maybe it's simply not letting the phone quietly steal every small pocket of the day. And again, I'm not judging that. I like video games. I like relaxing and wasting time. Sometimes, just like everyone else. But if I say Spanish is important to me, and then every night I choose entertainment over Spanish, eventually I have to stop pretending the issue is time. The issue is priority. Now, for some people, the decision is harder. And I want to be fair about that. A single person with no kids who works a regular schedule is not dealing with the same reality as someone with 3 kids, a long commute, and a demanding job. Those are not the same situations. For me, it's just me and my wife at home. I don't have young kids in the house that I have to take care of every day. So I have more control over my after work time than a lot of people do. But even then, the principle doesn't disappear. It just means the decision is more costly for someone with more constraints. For them, they may have to find the time by almost completely cutting out entertainment. Other people may have to combine Spanish with something they already do. If you take long walks, that might become listening time. If you go to the gym, maybe part of your warm-up or cardio becomes Spanish review. If you sit in the car waiting for your kids to finish practice, that might become flashcard time. A lunch break, an early morning, or 20 quiet minutes before bed may not give you the perfect study schedule, but it may give you something. And sometimes something done consistently is better than a perfect plan that never happens. But this is the part people don't like. Something usually has to give. A lot of people want to learn Spanish without losing anything. But for most adults, that's not how it works. If your life is already full, Spanish has to replace something. It can't just be added magically. Getting in shape, if that's a priority, costs time. Building a business, if that's a priority, costs time. And becoming functional in Spanish costs time too. For me, I've made that trade-off. After work, on days off, and sometimes mixed in between my commute to work or even while at work, I dedicate around an hour and a half to 2 hours completing the study task on my 2026 Spanish study plan. I also try to dedicate around an hour in the gym every day. And I also have to find time to script and record videos for this channel. And I've had to find time to work on other large projects, including building out structured recall. So when people hear me talk about studying Spanish every day, I don't want them to think I'm saying that because I have nothing else going on. That's not the case. I still have to make decisions about where my time goes. And to make room for that, I've had to let other things go. I have two other YouTube channels, Build Muscle Get Lean and Well Traveled Romeo. And honestly, I've basically stopped adding content to both of them. Not because I don't care about those topics anymore. I still care about fitness and travel. But right now, Spanish, this channel, and structured recall are my priorities. So those other channels had to sit. That's a real example of what I mean when I say something has to give. And sometimes the things that you give up isn't just entertainment. It may be another goal, it may be another project, or it may be another version of yourself that you still care about but can't actively build right now. That's a real constraint. And that's also a real prioritization. But for me, the trade-off is simple. I don't watch a lot of television. I don't binge shows. And I don't spend hours every night gaming or randomly consuming content. Not even Spanish content if it's not on my dedicated 2026 Spanish study plan. That's the exchange. And I'm not saying everyone has to make my exact exchange, but you do have to make some kind of exchange if the goal matters to you. Because when people ask, how do I find the time? What they often want is a productivity hack. They want a cleaner schedule, a perfect routine, a way to squeeze Spanish in without disrupting anything. But the real answer is simpler and more uncomfortable. You find the time by making Spanish more important than something else. Not more important than everything, not more important than your family, and certainly not more important than your health or your responsibilities, but more important than something. That's where the time comes from. So be honest about your life. Look at your schedule, your phone usage, and your entertainment. Then compare what you say is important to what your calendar actually shows, because your calendar is probably telling the truth. And if Spanish really matters to you, you'll start moving things around. And if you don't make room, then the honest answer may simply be Spanish is not a real priority right now. And that's okay. Just don't confuse that with not having time. That said, if you've made it this far into the video and you found a way to make time out of your busy schedule, help others out. Comment and let us know what you personally did to make Spanish a priority. And be sure to give this video a like so it can boost the video and help others who may be in the same dilemma. And of course, until the next video, good luck on your journey to building more functional, usable Spanish. Peace.